Bitter criticism. A mild day. It started. This day started cold, but now it's getting warm. Crazy weather in the global south. Crazy weather all over the world. I hope someday to have a drone to show you the cliffs. It's just 300 meters forward. There's a cliff. There's a lot of cliffs over there. But by now, only good news from CGTN. Good news from Finland. No. Bad news from Finland. Good news from CGTN. Good news from China. Yeah. That would be a great page. Good news from China. I never know if this is good. Yeah, I guess it's fine now. Yeah. Okay. Let's read some news from CGTN. Just 1 second, would you? Just 1 second. Well, you know, I was watching videos on YouTube as usual, and I was debating about a good place to move to migrate, and I was living in Brazil, and I know that tropical weather is nice. It's nice for your well-being, you know. Well, and that's how I found Hainan Island, Hainan tropical Chinese island. It will be a great place to live because not like Brazil, Hainan should be very safe, you know. But somehow Hainan, I guess, is turning to be a tourism spot just for very rich people. And I also know there's a I also know that there is I forgot. I also know there's problems. Yeah, I was watching a Al Jazeera documentary, and there's a lot of social conflicts in Hainan. Social conflicts about fishermen. You know, there's a lot of old fishermen, but somehow well, they don't have a place to move. They only have Hainan. Well, there's a news about what happened with Hainan. People like me, myself, I cannot move to Hainan right now, you know, because I'm not a billionaire. That's the whole truth about. So I cannot go there, and I cannot move to Hainan right now. That's the sad question, because maybe it's too expensive. I don't know how to. I will ask ChatGPT. The question is, it's being hard for it's been hard for the native people in Hainan, the Chinese native people in Hainan. And well, I'm not North American, but this is a very complex world, you know. You have this development and poor people suffering everywhere. Poor people suffering in China, everywhere. But somehow I guess Chinese poor people, they are better, you know. I guess they are better than any other poor people in any other rich country even. I will ask ChatGPT how I can move to Hainan. I'm facing a delay here. I'm facing some delay. ChatGPT. Well, and I have dogs too, you know, so I need to win the lottery to move to Hainan. So I made a quick research to show Hainan to a friend, and this was a very consumerist, very far right video. Like, well, I'm running out of internet. Looks like my internet is not so great. No internet, yeah. No ChatGPT. You know, I'm going to ask Meta AI, yeah. Meta AI, how can I move to Hainan, China, as an Italian? Meta AI is more quickly. Moving to Hainan, China, as an Italian citizen requires careful planning and compliance with Chinese immigration regulations. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you. So Meta AI is nice. First, visa requirements. Italian citizens need a visa to enter China. Apply for a visa at the Chinese embassy or consulate in Italy. You may need to provide documents like a valid passport, flight itinerary, hotel booking, and proof of financial means. Second, resident permit. If you plan to stay longer than 30 days, apply for a resident permit within 30 days of arrival. You will need to register with the local public security bureau and provide biometric data. Third, work permit. If you have a job offer in Hainan, your employer must sponsor your work permit. They will need to apply for a work permit on your behalf. 4. Registration with the local authorities. Register with the local authorities in Hainan and obtain a temporary residence permit. 5. Health insurance. Consider purchasing health insurance that covers you in China. 6. Language. Learn some basic Chinese to help you navigate everyday life. 7. Job opportunities. Look for job openings in Hainan, especially in industry like tourism, education, or trade. 8. Cost of living. Research the cost of living in Hainan and plan accordingly. 9. Culture shock. Be prepared for cultural differences and adapt to local customs. 10. Consult the Chinese embassy or consulate for the most up-to-date information and guidance. Consult the Chinese embassy or consulate in Italy. Additionally, consider the following. Hainan has a tropical climate, so be prepared for high temperatures and humidity. The island has a growing expat community, so you may find support and resources available. Learn about Chinese culture and customs to integrate smoothly. Please note that regulations can change, so it's essential to stay informed and consult official sources for the latest requirements. Let's see about moving, how to moving to Hainan. To Hainan as a Chilean citizen. I guess it's the same thing. It's very difficult. How to move into Hainan as a Chilean citizen. Moving to Hainan requires careful planning and compliance with Chinese immigration regulations. Here's a step-by-step guide. It's the same thing. Oh no, maybe it's harder. Yeah, there's a lot of it's harder, as a Chilean it's harder. It's harder as a Chilean to move to Hainan. Yeah, so it's so hard. It's just too hard. Let's ask ChatGPT now. How to move to Hainan? To Hainan as a Italian citizen. How to move to Hainan as an Italian citizen. Moving to Hainan, this is from ChatGPT. Moving to Hainan, China, as an Italian citizen involves several steps and preparations. Here's a general guide on how to proceed. First, check visa requirements. Italian citizens need a visa to enter and stay in China. The type of visa depends on the purpose of your stay: work, study, tourism, or business. Tourist visa, L visa, for short-term visits. Work visa, Z visa, if you have a job offer from a company in Hainan. Student visa, X visa, if you plan to study in Hainan. Business visa, M visa, for business trips or investments. Visa application process. Visit the Chinese embassy or consulate in Italy or apply through a visa service center. Submit the required documents. Passport valid for at least 6 months. Completed visa application form. Recent passport sized photos. Proof of accommodation or invitation letter. Additional documents based on the visa type. That's it. Job offer letter for a Z visa. Wait for visa approval. 2. Find employment or study opportunities. If you are moving for work, secure a job in Hainan. Many foreigners work in industries like tourism, education, teaching English, or technology. Some universities and language schools in Hainan may offer study programs for international students. Employers or educational institutions may assist with the visa process and provide necessary documents. 3. Obtain a residence permit. Once in China on a work, study, or long-term visa, you will need to apply for a residence permit and the local Public Security Bureau (PSB) within 30 days of arrival. This permit allows you to stay in China for the duration of your work contract or study program. 4. Find housing. Renting. Look for rental apartments or houses in Hainan. Major cities like Haikou or Sanya have a variety of housing options. Online platforms and real estate agents can help find suitable accommodation. Some employers may provide housing or assist with finding a place to stay. 5. Health insurance. Foreigners living in China need health insurance. Your employer may provide coverage, but it's advisable to have private insurance, especially for comprehensive health services. Some countries have reciprocal healthcare agreements, so check if Italy and China have one in place, or consider buying local or international health insurance. 6. Learn basic Mandarin. While many people in tourist areas may speak some English, Mandarin is the main language in China. Learning basic phrases can help with day-to-day activities. You can attend language courses in Hainan or use language learning apps. 7. Understand the cost of living. Hainan's cost of living is lower than major cities like Beijing or Shanghai, but varies depending on the city. That's it. Example, Haikou is generally cheaper than Sanya. Make a budget for rent, utilities, transportation, and daily expenses. 8. Cultural adjustment. Familiarize yourself with local customs and etiquette in China. Adapting to cultural differences will help ease the transition. 9. Banking and finances. Set up a local bank account in China. You will need a passport, visa, resident permit, and proof of address. Mobile payment platforms like Alipay and WeChat Pay are commonly used in China for transactions. 10. Register with the Italian embassy. After moving, register with the Italian embassy or consulate in China. This will help in case of emergencies and to stay informed about local policies affecting foreigners. Conclusion: the key steps involve securing the appropriate visa, finding employment or study opportunities, getting a residence permit, and adjusting to life in Hainan. It's also helpful to connect with local expatriate communities for additional support. So it's very hard to move to Hainan. It's very hard. But yeah, if I win lottery, let's read some news from CGTN. Politics. Well, the problem of Brazil is that Brazil is too violent. There's just too much violence in Brazil. That's the question. That's the whole question about Brazil. You can die in Brazil. So ChatGPT is temporarily unavailable, but I'm going to ask Meta AI criminal how the criminal rates in Hainan are. How the criminal rates in Hainan are. I guess I said it correct. How the criminal rates in Hainan are. Hainan, China has a relatively low crime rate compared to other major tourist destinations, according to official statistics and various sources. Here's an overview of crime rates in Hainan. Low overall crime rate. Hainan has a lower crime rate compared to other provinces in China. Second, petty crimes. Most reported crimes are petty, such as pickpocketing, theft, scams. 3. Violent crimes. Rare but can occur. Assaults, robberies, homicides. Extremely rare, yeah. Homicides. So, that's the problem with Brazil. Homicides, you know? That's the question. In Brazil, there's a lot of corpses everywhere. You can change the Brazilian flag for a corpse. But I know things are improving with Lula. I'm not criticizing Lula, but Brazilian history, understand? I actually support Lula, but Brazil is just too violent. Not Hainan. Homicides extremely rare. 4. Traffic safety. Traffic safety. Be cautious. Traffic accidents can occur due to reckless driving or poor road conditions. 5. Corruption. Hainan has a relatively low corruption rate compared to other provinces. 6. Tourist safety. Hainan is generally considered safe for tourists, with low rates of crime targeting foreigners. 7. Police presence. Visible police presence in tourist areas and major cities. To stay safe in Hainan, first, take normal precautions to protect yourself and your belongings. Second, be mindful of your surroundings, especially in crowded areas. 3. Avoid carrying large amounts of cash. 4. Use reputable taxi services or ride-sharing apps. 5. Follow local advice and instructions from authorities. Remember, crime rates can fluctuate, and it's essential to stay informed about local conditions. Check official government websites, consult with your embassy or consulate, and stay up to date with local news for the latest information. That's it. So I'm going to keep studying Hainan in the future, but by now I'm just going to read some news from China. I know that there's a rural area in Hainan, and that's I guess it will be better, the rural area. August 15, President Xi Jinping calls for building China-Brazil community with shared future. Updated August 15, 2024. China is ready to work with Brazil to take a 15th anniversary of diplomatic ties as a new starting point to jointly promote the building of a China-Brazil community with a shared future. Chinese President Xi Jinping said on Thursday. President Xi made the remarks in his congratulatory message to Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva on the 15th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries. China and Brazil, both major developing countries and key emerging markets, are like-minded, good friends and partners that join hands and move forward together, Xi said. Over the past half century, since the establishment of diplomatic relations, regardless of changes in the international landscape, the relationship between the two countries has maintained stable development, with increasingly prominent, comprehensive, and strategic global influence, he said, while promoting the development and revitalization of their respective nations. China and Brazil have also played significant roles in contributing to world peace, stability, and prosperity, he added. Xi emphasized that during Lula's successful visit to China last year, the two sides reached a significant consensus on piloting and opening a new future for China-Brazil relations in the new era. China is ready to take the 50th anniversary of its diplomatic relationship with Brazil as a new starting point to continuously strengthen the alignment of development strategies between the two countries, deepen exchanges and cooperation in various fields, add new dimensions of the era to the China-Brazil relationship, and work together to promote the building of a China-Brazil community with a shared future, he said. For his part, Lula said that over the past half century, the friendship between Brazil and China has been strengthened and cooperation has become increasingly diversified. At present, the two countries maintain cooperation in many fields and at all levels to jointly build a more prosperous, peaceful, and just world, he added. Brazil-China ties are increasingly important for building the multipolar order, as well as more just and effective global governance, Lula said, adding the bilateral ties play an underpinning role in the stability and predictability of the two countries and the world. He said that for the next 50 years of bilateral relations, the two countries will chart a new course together and create a bright shared future. Chinese Vice President Han Zheng and Brazilian Vice President Geraldo Alckmin also exchanged congratulatory messages on Thursday. Geraldo Alckmin have a Mao Zedong hairstyle. I'm sorry, I'm not making fool. You know, I have a curiosity about the pronunciation of Xi Jinping. I guess it's he, but I was listening Pepe Escobar saying it was C. So that's why I'm going to research about. I'm going to see. Well,
Xi Jinping.
But in Portuguese you say like this.
Xi Jinping.
You say like this.
Xi Jinping.
And in Chinese you say like this.
Xi Jinping.
No, this is Portuguese. And then
Xi Jinping.
C. I guess it's C. Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. It's not he. It's C. Xi Jinping. So that's it. So yeah, Pepe Escobar was right. Pepe Escobar is nice with pronunciation, you know. He said Kamala Harris, Xi Jinping, and so on. So let's find. There's about politics. Let's read some. Let's try to find something from Hainan. Let's find more news from Hainan in CGTN page. I don't know where to research in CGTN app. It's hard to find where to research in the Apple. Explore kinda, yeah. Explore. So I'm making a research on the CGTN app about Hainan. Talking about Hainan cuisine, surfing enthusiasm, soars in South China's Hainan Island. China grants 144-hour visa-free to entry for Hainan. So ChatGPT is not uploaded. It's not. China grants is not actual. July 30, 2024, 1 month ago, almost. China grants 144-hour visa-free entry to foreigners visiting Hainan in tour groups via HK Macau. So it's not 144 hours. It's not that much, but it's nice. People from People from countries with diplomatic relations with China can visit the southern island province of Hainan visa-free for 144 hours via tour groups registered in Hong Kong and Macau special administrative regions, said the National Immigration Administration on Tuesday. What else? Typhoon Prapiru makes landfall in South China, Hainan. This is from July 22, 2024, 1 month ago. Climate. Typhoon Prapiru makes landfall in South China's Hainan. Typhoon Prapiru, the fourth typhoon of this year, made landfall along the coast of Huaning City in South China's island province of Hainan at 1:30 a.m. on Monday, packing winds of up to 28 meters per second near the center, the local meteorological service said. We have a photograph. Huge waves break on the shore of Sanya Bay, Sanya, South China's Hainan province. Typhoon Prapiru is expected to continue to move northwest and enter the Beibu Gulf, bringing strong winds and rains to Hainan and Guangdong provinces, as well as Guangxi Trang Autonomous Region. The National Meteorological Center continued to issue a blue alert for rainstorms and a yellow alert for the typhoon, warning on heavy rainfall over 100 millimeters in Hainan, southwestern Guangdong and southern Guangxi during Monday and Tuesday. The state flood control and drought relief headquarters sent a work team to Hainan on Sunday to guide the preparation work against Typhoon Prapiru. At a joint work conference held on Sunday, the Ministry of Emergency Management urged local governments to effectively respond to the typhoon and ensure that offshore workers are transferred and ships to return to port for shelter. More than 26,000 tourists have been evacuated from a tourist island in South China's Guangxi Shuang Autonomous Region, local authorities said on Sunday. The last group of tourists boarded a ferry to leave Wenshou Island on Sunday. On Sunday evening, according to the Maritime Safety Administration of Beihai, the city that administers the island. The ferry service linking the city and the island will be halted on Monday and Tuesday. Transport and port authorities in Hainan have suspended high-speed rail services circling the island and ferry operations across the Qingshu Strait and advised sailing vessels to take shelter. Many scenic spots and attractions in the popular tourist city Sanya have also been closed temporarily as a result of the typhoon, with input from Xinhua. So yeah, Hainan is a tropical island. I'm not sure if it's so hard, if it's very hard, but I guess because of thanks to the Chinese Communist Party, right now is developed. It's developed because of a special zone, because of China's history, because of Chinese. I'm not sure about criminality in China. This is a nice topic. I guess I'm going to download some articles. I'm going to read some articles about criminality in China. It's all about free trade. Look, July 17. China hears force a dog arbitration case in Hainan free trade port. A contractual dispute between two companies registered in the Hainan Free Trade Port (FTP) entered arbitration through an ad hoc tribunal on Monday. This is China's first ad hoc arbitration case heard under new commercial arbitration regulations implemented in the Hainan FTP on July 1st. So free trade. Hainan is all about free trade. But I guess there's maybe there's potential for ecotourism and tropical agriculture, like tropical fruits from Brazil, these terpene fruits. Look, I made a terpene. I made a piece of art about. I made a piece of art about. I made a piece of art about tropical fruits, which I think you can plant in Hainan, but I'm not sure about it, you know, because agriculture is kind of tricky because of dangerous of agriculture itself, of foreign species. But there's some Amazon tropical fruits in the Amazon that has terpenes, which is kind of a resin, is a pretty nice sensation, and you don't get high, but you get like inspire something, you know. It's like a stimulation or something. So these fruits are cupuaçu. This is like Jenny Papu. It's like the Ramones logo. Yeah, the Ramones logo. Maybe you cannot listen Ramones in Hainan, which is sad. And pitanga, mangaba and pitanga. So that's it. I'm going to make better. Maybe I will do a jersey about it. Maybe I will do a jersey about terpenes. But by now I'm going to read what's happening in other places. In other places but Hainan. Forget about Hainan. It's not for everybody. China and Brazil share a future. China sees steady economic growth in July. China outlines key tasks for ecological conservation. Israeli closure Rafah crossing leads to over 1,000 deaths in Gaza. Radioactive waters leaks reported at Japan's Fukushima plant power. Nice news from CGTN. Let's read the China sees steady economic growth in July. August 15, 2024, economy. CGTN, we have a photograph. Shelves full of vegetables at a supermarket in Shanghai, August 6. China saw steady economic growth in July, as indicated by official data released by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, Thursday. China's value-added industrial output, an important economic indicator, expanded 5.1% year-on-year in July. On a monthly basis, the industrial output edged up 0.35% in July from the previous month. Addressing a press conference, an NBS spokesperson Liu Haiwa said that 80% of industries and nearly 60% of products registered year-on-year increases. The service production index increased by 4.8% year-on-year in July, quickening by 0.1 percentage points from the previous month. In addition, China's retail sales of consumer goods went up 2.7% year-on-year to nearly 3.78 trillion yuan, $529 billion. Services consumption stood out, said Bruce Pang, chief economist of GLL Greater China. He added that the growth rate of consumption after excluding automobile consumption was faster than that of the same period last year, effectively stabilizing the economy after a slightly slowed down investment growth. China's fixed assets investment rose 3.6% year-on-year to reach about 28.76 trillion yuan, while foreign trade reached 3.68 trillion yuan, reflecting a 6.5% year-on-year increase. The scale of investment is fixed assets has expanded. The import and export of goods have grown rapidly, and the trade structure has continued to be optimized, said Liu. That's it. There's one more. The previous one. The app is better than CGTN app is nice. August 15, 2024. China outlines key tasks for ecological conservation. We have a photograph, a view of the Haizi village in Bijie City, southwest China's Guizhou province, July 19, 2024. China's National Development and Reform Commission, NDRC, the country's top economic planner, on Thursday specified key tasks to conserve the ecological environment. The NDRC will act to advance reform in ecological conservation and promote green, low carbon and high quality development, said Zhao Shenqi, deputy head of the commission, at an event held in the city of Saming, Southeast China's Fujian province, to mark National Ecology Day. The commission will work actively but prudently towards achieving carbon peak by 2030 and carbon neutrality by 2060. Will step up efforts to protect the ecological environment and strengthen international cooperation in green and low carbon development, he added. The NDRC will implement fiscal, tax, financial, investment, and pricing policies, as well as standards to support green and low carbon development, Zhao noted. The official also pledged to refine the mechanisms for realizing the market value of ecosystem goods and services, advance comprehensive compensation for ecological conservation, and improve the trans-regional compensation mechanism for ecological conservation. Meanwhile, NDRC will deepen international cooperation concerning the circular economy, promote the export of advanced technologies, products, standards, and business models for green and low carbon development, and actively participate in global climate governance, Zhao remarked. Last year, China's top legislature voted to designate August 15 as the country's National Ecology Day, with the aim of enhancing public awareness and actions to promote the ecological environment. Source: Xinhua News Agency. Well, so yeah, we are facing the end of the episode. Good news from China and Hainan project. Hainan project maybe. So yeah, as Tommy is free now because the Akitas are not here anymore, I'm just going to do yoga. Yoga like there's no tomorrow. Yoga like no tomorrow. There's no tomorrow. Just 1 second. I'm just going to find some Daniel Jadue. Daniel Jadue is still in prison. I'm pretty sure about that. I have no idea about what's going on in Chile. Chile, as I said, is a pretty stupid society. It's terrible. Chilean society is terrible. They are the worst human experience in history, for sure. Forget about Chile. Forget about Chile.
Todos sabemos es un orden creado por el imperio para asegurar efectivamente su control sobre el mundo, ¿no? Y este orden mundial le sirvió al capitalismo durante un tiempo para, entre comillas, generar riqueza y acumular y concentrar la riqueza. Pero llega un minuto en donde la tendencia creciente de la tasa de ganancia empieza a complicar el funcionamiento de este orden mundial, porque las reglas que ha puesto este orden mundial ya impiden la acumulación. Por ejemplo, el derecho a la salud, el derecho a la vivienda, esta cosa que hay que pagar impuestos para financiar las necesidades de los pobres, ya es un problema para el capitalismo. Que el discurso de todos los multimillonarios de ultraderecha como Milei, casi todo, entonces vamos a la libertad, entonces que no hayan impuestos, y si no hay impuestos no tenemos educación, no tenemos salud, ellos pueden seguir ganando, no tenemos vivienda, no tenemos esparcimiento, no tenemos cultura, no tenemos deporte, pero ellos van a ser mucho más ricos. Entonces, como ya esta, entre comillas, construcción, esta convención social que son los derechos humanos, los derechos del niño, los derechos de la mujer, ¿no? Los derechos...
And that's it. My back is... Yeah, I guess China is only for rich too. And maybe China is also too authoritarian, just like Chile. So we are pretty lost. Let's make the social Trotskyist revolution.